this was forwarded from Truth Warriors Chris. Read this post carefully. A friend sent it to me. It makes total sense. Our Christmas will be after the New Year. Wow. In Trump's last speech, he said Happy New Year and Merry Christmas, not the other way round. 24th December, 11:24 p.m. That's interesting, isn't it?
Joe's saying that they're shutting down the cash transactions till January 7th. Joseph, my guess is, based on everything I'm hearing, when it cranks back up to 7th, they'll be dealing with a new rate. That's definitely what I'm hearing when they start back. So that means a lot has to happen in between, meaning we all have to go do our thing. It's exciting.
This was posted on RV Highlights, forwarded from Dinar Revaluation. And in this story, the writer notes, and Sudani has promised his people that they would have a new rate before the end of the year. Kevin J. Monangai, the chance that Iraq doesn't reinstate the Iraqi Dinar IQD by the end of 2024, 25th December. Alright, let's talk this through. The chance that Iraq doesn't reinstate the Iraqi Dinar IQD by the end of 2024 is extremely slim. Probably a 1 or 2 out of 10 at most, in my opinion. Here's why. Right now, Iraq relies on something called the dollar auction to keep its economy running. The system lets the central bank supply US dollars for things like trade and imports. But here's the deal. The auctions stop on December 31st, 2024. After that, there's no safety net. The IQD has to be ready to step in as the currency for international transactions. I'm sure there was an article or story posted on X by either Majid or Ariel or one of them, Brothers Technology Inc., I can't remember, but one of them said the auctions have ended. Okay. The Central Bank of Iraq and the government have been preparing for this all year. They have connected Iraqi banks to global financial networks, partnered with major banks like JP Morgan, and upgraded their systems to meet international standards. They are ready to flip the switch. If it doesn't reinstate the IQD in time, it would create chaos. Banks wouldn't be able to process trade payments, inflation could spike, and public confidence in their financial system could collapse. Frankly, they can't afford to miss this. So will they pull it off? It's almost certain. Everything points to the RI reinstatement happening before December 31st, probably between December 26 and December 30, in my opinion. They've done too much work to let this slip. Missing the deadline is highly unlikely. Posted on RV Highlights on Telegram, forwarded from Breakfast with Tiffany. North Star, replying to Majid, auctions being closed means no US dollars, and Iraq has to use dinar. They cannot use the rate of 0.00076 dinar. Remember, there are 2 options. 1, bankruptcy. 2, revalue. Iraq has worked so hard on becoming the father to the dollar. The answer is number 2. Continued Majid, 25th of December. Also posted on RV Highlights Telegram, forwarded from Breakfast with Tiffany. Sunshine RV Travelers, replying to Majid, banks are shut down until January 7th. When they reopen, it should be the new rate, meaning we should have to exchange before then. So this person's saying it should RV before January the 7th. Okay. Also posted on RV Highlights on Telegram, forwarded from CJ. Iraq news update. Now this is a Merry Christmas. This is a crazy development here. Totally out of left field, but in the most amazing way for Iraqi citizens and the world. I knew something was brewing in the background. This can only mean one thing, because this will definitely force their hand to act expeditiously in order to quell any potential instability in the market. The only thing left to do is pull the trigger any time before January 1st. I would presume, based on what just happened, I just do not see how they can survive without doing so. When platforms facilitating currency transfers are suspended, liquidity tightens and rumors about exchange rate fluctuations can spread rapidly. This can lead to panic in the markets as businesses and financial institutions anticipate changes. A gap between the official exchange rate and black market rates could widen. This could encourage the growth of parallel markets where currency is exchanged at higher rates, undermining the central bank's control over monetary policy. The logical next step to prevent destabilization might be for Iraq to introduce the new rate. By doing so, they could stabilize market confidence, reduce speculation, align market forces with the anticipated economic reforms. With the auctions suspended and the new year approaching, the window for inaction is small. Iraq may be positioning itself for a currency adjustment of revaluation before January 1st to avoid starting 2025 with uncertainty. And Majid has also posted 10:25 p.m. December 25th, 2024. If Forex opens today, the rate should come up today, 5 p.m. Eastern. Because Iraq already deployed digital payment with instant payment and banking cards plus a unified payment gateways, that means Iraq already, which could also mean Iraq already sent a letter to Forex a few days ago. And today, Forex should show up the rate when the trading session opens at 5 p.m. So Iraq can pay their citizens Thursday morning. Remember, 5 p.m. Eastern today, Wednesday, means it is 1 a.m. in the Middle East Thursday morning. Lady Warrior, Red 45. So will that mean we are ready in America, say Friday, to exchange our currencies, or should we wait? And Majid responds, depends when your bank's open. Majid posted on X, 3:58 a.m., December 25th, 2024. The salaries for Kurdistan will be paid Thursday or Saturday, or maybe tonight or tomorrow, Wednesday. LFG. Yes. Breaking. Zoom News. Breaking. The Iraqi Ministry of Finance will release supplementary funds for the Kurdistan regions November and December. Salaries by Thursday or Saturday. Confirmed. Iraqi Deputy Finance Minister Rebaz Hamlin to Zoom News. All True 17. What would you say to her?
I am Holly Ciliano. I wanted to give each and every one of you a Christmas message. I know a lot of people are saying that we're going to have the RV before Christmas. I want to just inform you, per my sources, we will not see anything until the new year. I know people are going to be upset and hurt and disappointed, but there is just way too much misinformation being passed around all of these channels, and sadly it's hurting people who hang on to every word listening to them. What is happening is we are transitioning to a whole new financial system starting in January. We are transitioning to a new government starting in January. We are transitioning to a new banking system starting in January. Everything is starting in January for everything to launch and begin. The bond people will not be paid until January. So everybody that's reporting that they're getting paid or they're being paid, nothing, the money movement will not happen until January. With Iraq, they are gearing up for their new revaluation. They have done an in-country, which I have had confirmed. However, as far as all the other things to happen at our level, we are not there yet. So you have the bonds, which are on one side, and they are different than the currencies. Currencies can happen differently than the bonds, but the bonds are not, none of the bonds are paying out until January. And in my opinion, we will not see any of the currencies either till January. So there is, on January 6th, it's called Epiphany, Christmas, because we have been hearing you're going to have a great Christmas. Well, the Orthodox Christians recognize the Epiphany is when the Magi, the three wise men, came and visited Jesus bearing gifts on January 6th and 7th.
Okay, I can't be bothered to listen to her. I think all her information is BS. And what does she say to Wolverine, who has confirmed with platform leaders that they have already been paid and some of their members have been paid? The bonds can go any time, but depending on how many bonds you've got. But according to Wolverine, a lot of people have been paid out, especially the tier 3, the whales. So her comments saying that none of the bonds have been paid out, well, I think she's telling lies. As for the January the 6th to do with the story about Jesus, it's all very well, but this is Iraq. They're Muslim or Islamic. Are they Muslim or Islamic? They're not Christians. although they may have some Christians in the country, but it is a Muslim country. So that's my opinion. But here's what Majid had to say in regards to the response. She doesn't clarify who is her source, which means what she says doesn't mean anything to me. I go by what Iraq says. I don't care about anybody who does not specify who is that source. Her source is her friend in the basement making up stories. Exactly. How can she say, oh, it's Epiphany to do it January 6th because the 3 wise men visited Jesus? But then that whole story of Jesus' birth, it is questionable. Because I like to listen to Billy Carson, and according to the old textbooks of ancient texts, it's basically saying that Christmas, at that time when Jesus was born, what the Bible says, Jesus was born the 25th of December. Jesus' birth, according to the old texts, when I listen to Billy Carson, because he's an historian and he likes to research information, so that intel in regards to what this lady is saying, it's not quite true, is it? Because at that time, right about the time of Jesus' birth, according to the ancient texts, at that time it was winter. And they also say that Jesus' birth was actually April the 1st. So it's kind of controversial what she's saying. This is my opinion, but going by researchers like Billy Carson as well as Ishmael Perez, they know a lot about the past. And they know a lot about these ancient texts. And I know that even though some parts of the Bible is correct, but the Bible is flawed because they left out the book of Enoch, which tells a lot of truths. So this lady hasn't backed up her information. She's basically following the information of what the Vatican says, that the 3 wise men visited Jesus on January the 6th. It's not quite true. Also posted on RV Highlights Telegram, Texas Snake. Optimization for the currency revaluation remains very positive. Looking forward to banks opening up in the morning in either Eastern Zone or MST Zone, Miami or Reno. And this was posted on RV Highlights. Dinar revaluation. Majid, when bank card being distributed, it means a new rate is popping up, 24th December. POS device is available at the Trade Bank of Iraq. Trade Bank of Iraq, TBI, announces the provision of point-of-sale POS devices to facilitate electronic payment transactions. You can enhance your customer's experience by using a fast and efficient device. They wouldn't provide these devices for business unless bank cards are about to be distributed. And when bank card being distributed, it means a new rate is popping up, causing people to bring their old card note to get the new one and deposit it into their bank account. Also posted on RV Highlights, Kookie Byrd. We were at my aunt's house for a traditional tamale dinner. 4 generations of family gathered. I was talking to a new husband who had mentioned he had received his new title, Vice President at his work. I asked him, where do you work? His reply, City First National Bank. We talked about getting ready for the change and he said, there's lots of preparation. I didn't want to appear too eager. At the end of the night, when they were leaving, I mentioned to him that I had foreign currencies. His eyes lit up and he leaned over to me and said, We're waiting for the green light. We're waiting for the green light. Everything's ready to go. Then I looked at my wife and we both smiled. Merry Christmas, Mama Bear, Kookie Byrd. This was also posted on the Chosen One's Telegram. What are the Iraqis waiting for after the news of the sudden suspension of the dollar sale platform by the central bank? Grok explains. The article you've referenced discusses the aftermath of the temporary halt of dollar sales by the Central Bank of Iraq. Here's a breakdown. Title: What are Iraqis looking forward to after the announcement of the temporary suspension of dollar sales by the central bank? Key points. Dollar sales suspended. The Central Bank of Iraq, CBI, decided to temporarily stop selling dollars to exchange companies. This decision was made to combat issues like money laundering and to better control the flow of foreign currency out of the country. Impact on daily life. Currency exchange. Normally people in Iraq can go to these exchange companies to get dollars for travel, import goods, or other international transactions. With this halt, there's a direct impact on how easily people can access dollars exchange rates. The article suggests that this move could lead to a higher demand for dollars on the black market, potentially causing the street value of the dollar to rise against the Iraqi dinar. This means everyday items imported or priced in dollars could become more expensive. Economic implications. Inflation. If the dollar becomes harder to get, prices for goods might go up because importers could face higher costs to buy dollars on the black market or from unofficial sources. Business operations. Companies that rely on importing goods or have dollar-denominated debts might find it challenging to operate normally. Public reaction and expectations. There's a sense of uncertainty among Iraqis. People are worried about how this will affect their personal finances, especially if they're planning to travel or buy things priced in dollars. There's also some hope that this move might clean up financial practices, reducing illegal activities like money laundering. However, there's skepticism about how well this will work and when normal dollar transactions will resume. Government stance. The government, through this action, aims to stabilize the economy, prevent the illegal outflow of currency, and ensure that dollars are used for legitimate purposes within Iraq's economy. What this means for you. If you were in Iraq, think about how this could affect things like the price of imported goods you might buy, travel plans if you needed dollars for international travel, the cost if inflation goes up due to currency scarcity. It's a reminder of how government decisions on currency can have broad impacts on everyday life, similar to how economic policies in your country might affect prices at stores or job opportunities. The article essentially paints a picture of a country trying to balance economic stability with preventing financial crimes, showing how interconnected these issues are. Note, remember, this is based on the translated content, and actual on-the-ground scenarios might evolve differently. If you're interested in following up, look for updates from credible news sources or official statements from the Iraqi government or the central bank. This was also posted on RV Highlights forwarded by TP at disclosure_Q. 2 years ago, I posted about RV. This could be a table to apply the conversion from current currency to new currency. After the new currency conversion, the revaluation process of each country's currency will begin. For example, 1 IQD equals $3.47. Where does he get that from? Because 1 USD to Iraq is 1,310. So you take a dollar divided by 1310, comes up with 0.00076. Drop off the zeros is 0.76. Where's he getting that rate from? Doesn't say how he got that. Wow, this was posted on the Treasure One's Telegram. IMF, International Monetary Fund, says all countries have been funded. Completed as of this morning. It's up to the governments now. Next appointment scheduled for Thursday. TNT Tony. And this was at 2036, 24th December 24. And then Wolverine's just commented, we are ready. I hope so, because the dinar is not on the Forex. And neither is the VND, and neither is the Venezuela, and oh well, we'll just have to see. Slow down and take your time. There's no need to rush. Everything you are already doing your part. Trust that what belongs in your life is already making its way towards you in divine timing, people. Divine timing.